I was just lathing this motor's belt to make it fit a V-belt. I'll tell you why in a second. First I'll tell you about this motor. I got this at the junkyard for peanuts. And it doesn't have a starter capacitor or whatever it needs to start. So to get it to start, I just have to get it spinning and then connect the electricity, and then it works fine. And for me, that's good enough. So I actually I wired a little plug into here. You know, it has this fancy thing, but I just went around that. And alright, so like I was saying, if I plug this in without it spinning, it does nothing, and I'm just doing it real quick, so I don't need to melt anything. But it's spinning, totally works. And you can actually start it either direction. Just because of the way magnetism works and electricity. So I want to use this motor to power this here big industrial fan. This is, it says half horsepower on it. It seems to spin very smoothly, and it has a V-belt up here. I'm not sure if this motor is going to be strong enough to run this V-belt, because it's a pretty stiff belt, but I'm going to give it a try, and I might have to substitute something out for that. Okay, I just went in my scrap metal section and found this stuff, and got it lined up and drilled some holes and stuff. And this should fit the motor and this. Now this has mounting stuff that would clearly normally include all four of these things. But since I'm using a smaller motor, I think I can just attach it on one side and it'll be alright. And my motor goes right on here. I'll spare you staring at me while I screw these bolts in. Well, the belt actually fits on this pulley pretty well now, but I didn't get this on camera, but I tried to get it going, and you know, the motor just wasn't strong enough to turn this belt. Maybe if I got the fan spinning fast enough by hand first, it would be able to do it. But that's kind of getting outside even my safety parameters. So I'm going to take this belt off, see if I can come up with something that's easier to bend. Because these are, I don't know, really stiff. Well, I could take the existing V-belt and very carefully slice it down the middle, and then it would be significantly easier to bend. That's going to be a pretty finicky operation. I don't know if I want to do that. Besides, I might use this for something else. Alright, I'm going to see if I can come up with something else. I'll put that with my other V-belts. Oh, this one is so floppy. It would totally work, but it's enormous. Alright. I do have a bunch of Paracord. And, if I can make a loop that goes around the pulleys a couple times and make the string connect back to itself without having a big fat knot, then it might work. Even with a knot, it might be alright. But I'm going to try to do it without making a knot. Alright, this is the right length to go around the pulley twice. See if I can too much wind there. Alright. Ooh. Wow, that looks pretty good. I wish my camera was better at focusing up close. That came out great. I think. Feels pretty strong. Well, let's give it a try. If this works reasonably well, I might have to paint it with some rubberizing stuff. get too tight and break the thing. Kind of tight though. Alright. Well, let's turn around so you can see the business end. I get it started up. Oh, that's pretty good. I just wonder how much the string is slipping. Because if it's slipping, it'll get worn through pretty fast. I'll leave it running for a couple minutes, and then I'll look at the string, see how it looks. Don't do that! Alright, that's been going for about 5 minutes. The string hasn't broken. Alright, take a look at it. Wow. Looks in pristine condition. I think this is gonna work. Now I should get some, I don't know, some kind of rubbery caulking to coat the string in, give it a bit more grip. Although, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't even bother. It's working right now. Don't fix things that aren't broken, idiot. Okay. And I mean, the worst thing that can happen right now is the string wears through, and I lose what, like 4 feet of string. I have like 1,000 over there. I can lose a little bit once in a while. Anyway. After this one breaks, then on my next string, I can try painting it with some kind of rubberizing stuff. Maybe even just some latex paint. I don't know, something. Well, I'm just going to run it like this. See how long it lasts. And nobody else will ever use my dangerous fan. I call it the fan of doom. Because you must risk your fingers to turn it on. It's not that hard. Yeah. I have an exhaust fan for my wood shop. For my shop in general. Oh, that'll be so great for like fiberglass. You know, stinky stuff like that. Just suck all the fumes away. Oh, that's gonna be great. I can set up a paint booth and suck the fumes away from that. I can do welding, suck the... Oh man, that'll be so good. Can't tell you how many times I've had like stinky fumes doing things like welding, painting, whatever. And then like the breeze stops and the fumes are just hanging around. I'm sitting there holding my breath, trying to get work done before I run away to some fresh air. Oh, this will be great for that. Ooh, and I can like blow it through when I'm like sawing stuff and it's spitting sawdust all over the place. I can just blow it over to the corner and clean it up later instead of having it blowing in my face. Oh yeah. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with this thing. I just saw it at the junkyard and I bought it for like $1. But yeah, I'm glad I did. Same with that motor. I don't actually know what price I paid for these. You know, when I go to the junkyard here, I just like pile up everything I want, and then I offer the guy like, how about $200 for all this stuff? You know, it depends what it is, of course. But he's usually like, all right, or nah, I need a little more than that because of that motor or that or that. And then I'll either make him take back the thing he thinks is expensive, or I'll be like, all right, fine. He's a really good guy, and he gives me great deals on stuff. So, yeah, that was a good deal on that. Oh, I just realized I can't put a safety screen here because you have to put your hand in to start it. Oh. I know, I could put a safety screen with a door. I'm not doing all that crap, though. Hey kids, you want to see my new fan? Haha! On the topic of a wood shop, I'm gonna need a new inverter. Like, I can currently run that radial arm saw on the one I have now, but I can't even turn that on. Well, I might be able to turn it on, but it's an 1800 watt, and my inverter is, I think, 1500 or 1600. So I need to get something bigger to really be able to use that. And I can kind of I can do tricks to get around it. Like, I could run that directly off solar panels doing a funny trick, and then I could use a different motor on some of the tools. But I mean, eventually I'm going to need a bigger inverter. Now, the house has a really nice inverter. It's an Outback 3500 watt inverter that's... Hey, get out of here, chicken! Yeah, go! No, outside! There. Anyway, they're supposed to last a long time, and it works very well. I got a super good deal on it, like 70% off or something, because it was repaired and I was kind of buying it as is. I got lucky there. It's worked flawlessly. I'm not going to get the same deal again, I'm sure. And new, they're like $1,750 or something. It's like, you know, basically a month's salary for me. Salary. Salary. So... God, those things are so expensive. And like in Vermont, I had a cheap one. It was like a 3,000 watt, $200 inverter. And it lasted a couple years. I was on my second one. The first one broke after a couple years, and then I used the second one. But like, the good one's like 9 times the price. Well, if you count shipping, that's a fixed cost. I can't change that because shipping to here is is a consideration for sure. So maybe it's like 5 or 6 times the price when you count all the extras. But yeah, will the expensive one outlast the cheap one by like 5 times or more? I don't know. That's asking for a lot. On the other hand, it is nice to just get the final thing and know that it's going to last a super long time. And just be done with it. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Right now, I think I can do everything I need to do in the immediate future with this here radial arm saw and my skill saw. So maybe I'll just put it off. You know what? If I wasn't being such a baby, I'd just figure out how to make a stupid inverter myself. Because I already know most of this stuff. I mean, I can do electronic crap. Yeah. Maybe I need to look into that. Quit whining about, oh, I need an inverter and it costs so much money. If I could build one with junk parts, that would be super useful in my life. The only problem is I don't have time right now. Hopefully I can just deal with what I have for now until I can figure out how to build an inverter. I don't know. I gotta think about this. Blah, 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 inverter, blah, blah, blah. Oh. I hear the dinner bell. I'm gonna forget about all this other crap for a while then. Oh, but I do want to turn on the fan one more time before I go. Oh, so windy! Oh, yeah! You know what? I want to test this on high power. Where'd the plug go? Okay. Ooh, that is noticeably more wind. Oh yeah. It'll probably wear out my string faster too.